Jorge Mario Bergoglio was born in Buenos Aires, Argentina, on December 17, 1936. The city, bustling with life and culture, was a melting pot of immigrants and traditions, shaping the childhood of many, including young Jorge. His early years were set against the backdrop of a rapidly changing Argentina, where families like his sought stability and hope for the future. His parents, Mario and Regina, were hard-working Italian immigrants who had left their homeland in search of a better life. They brought with them the values of faith, perseverance, and a deep sense of community. Life was simple, but it was also filled with love, discipline, and the warmth of family traditions passed down through generations. The Bergoglio family was close-knit, often gathering around the dinner table to share stories and laughter. Young Jorge cherished his upbringing, finding comfort in the embrace of his parents and siblings. These early experiences would later shape his understanding of compassion and empathy. He loved soccer, music, and his family. The lively streets of Buenos Aires became his playground, where he played soccer with friends and learned the rhythms of tango and folk music that filled the air. Jorge attended local schools, where he quickly stood out for his curiosity and kindness. He was a good student, always eager to learn and help others. Teachers noticed his thoughtful nature and willingness to lend a hand to classmates. He enjoyed learning, especially about science and literature, and often spent hours reading or discussing ideas with his family. After graduating, Jorge pursued chemistry, a field that fascinated him with its blend of logic and discovery. He earned a diploma as a chemical technician, demonstrating both discipline and a keen intellect. This achievement was a source of pride for his family, who saw in him the promise of a bright future. This path seemed clear, and for a time Jorge imagined a life dedicated to science. Yet, beneath the surface, a profound calling stirred within him, a quiet but persistent sense that he was meant for something more, something that would touch the lives of many. At the age of 21, Jorge had a life-changing experience. During a moment of deep reflection in a church, he felt a powerful and unmistakable calling to the priesthood. This spiritual awakening marked a turning point, setting him on a new and unexpected path. This calling led him to the Society of Jesus, the Jesuits. Known for their intellectual rigor, spiritual depth, and commitment to social justice, the Jesuits appealed to both Jorge's heart and mind. He admired their dedication to education and their work among the poor and marginalized, values that resonated deeply with his own upbringing. In 1958, Jorge entered the Jesuit order. It was a demanding path, full of challenges and rewards. The years of formation tested his resolve, but also deepened his faith and sense of purpose. He embraced the rigorous studies and spiritual formation, immersing himself in philosophy, theology, and service to others. His dedication and humility were evident to all who knew him, and he quickly earned the respect of his peers and mentors. He was ordained as a priest on December 13, 1969. With this, a new chapter in his life had begun, one that would eventually lead him to the highest office in the Catholic Church, but always rooted in the lessons and love of his early years in Buenos Aires. Father Jorge Bergoglio embraced his vocation with open arms. He loved teaching. He served as a professor of theology. He shared his knowledge and passion for God with young minds. He was known for his humility and compassion. Father Bergoglio was appointed provincial superior of the Jesuit in Argentina in 1973. It was a time of great turmoil. Political unrest and violence gripped the nation. He led with courage and conviction, navigating difficult situations with grace. His heart was always with the poor. Father Bergoglio witnessed firsthand the struggles of the marginalized. He dedicated himself to serving them. He visited slums, offering comfort and hope to those forgotten by society. His actions spoke louder than words. He lived simply, rejecting the luxuries often associated with religious leadership. He rode the bus. He cooked his own meals. He embodied the spirit of humility and service that defined his life. In 1992, Father Bergoglio's unwavering dedication to the people earned him a significant appointment. He was named Auxiliary Bishop of Buenos Aires. This new role allowed him to serve an even wider community. His compassionate leadership and tireless advocacy for the poor continued to shine. He was a voice for the voiceless, a champion for the marginalized. He challenged injustice and inequality wherever he found it. In 1998, Bishop Bergoglio was appointed Archbishop of Buenos Aires. This prestigious position placed him at the helm of the Catholic Church in his beloved city. He continued to live simply, refusing to move into the Archbishop's palace. Archbishop Bergoglio's reputation for humility, compassion, and unwavering faith reached the Vatican. In 2001, Pope John Paul II elevated him to the College of Cardinals. This esteemed position recognized his exceptional service and leadership. The year 2013, marked a turning point in the history of the Catholic Church. It was a time of uncertainty, of reflection, and ultimately of hope. The world was facing many challenges: political unrest, economic hardship, and a growing sense of division. In the midst of all this, the church itself was at a crossroads, searching for new direction and renewed purpose. Pope Benedict XVI announced his resignation. It was a decision that stunned millions, as it was the first papal resignation in nearly 6 centuries. His humility in stepping down, citing his declining health and the needs of the church, set the stage for a moment of profound transition. The world, it watched as the College of Cardinals gathered in the Sistine Chapel to elect a new leader. The eyes of Catholics and non-Catholics alike were fixed on Rome, waiting to see who would guide the church into a new era. The sense of anticipation was palpable as centuries-old traditions unfolded behind closed doors. On March 13, 2013, White smoke billowed from the chimney. This ancient signal, so simple yet so powerful, told the world that a decision had been made. The crowd erupted in cheers, their excitement echoing through St. Peter's Square and across the globe. A new pope had been chosen. For many, it was a moment of renewed faith and optimism, a sign that the Church was ready to embrace change and face the future with courage. The world held its breath as Cardinal Jorge Mario Bergoglio stepped onto the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica. His presence was humble, his demeanor gentle, and yet there was a quiet strength about him that immediately captured the hearts of millions. He introduced himself as Pope Francis. With a simple greeting and a request for prayers, he broke with tradition and reached out to people everywhere, regardless of faith or background. The choice of name was significant. It was the first time a pope had chosen the name Francis, and it sent a powerful message about the kind of leader he intended to be. Saint Francis of Assisi was known for his humility, his love for the poor, and his commitment to peace. He was a man who turned away from wealth and privilege to serve those most in need, and who inspired generations with his compassion and simplicity. Pope Francis really embodied these same qualities. From the very beginning, he made it clear that his papacy would focus on mercy, inclusion, and reaching out to the marginalized. He chose to live simply, to speak plainly, and to act with kindness. He was a breath of fresh air for the Church and the world. His warmth and openness inspired hope, not just among Catholics, but among people of all faiths and backgrounds who long for a more compassionate world. Pope Francis's papacy was marked by a series of firsts. He immediately set about reforming the Vatican bureaucracy, reaching out to other religions, and championing the cause of the poor and the environment. He was the first Jesuit pope, bringing with him the Jesuit tradition of education, service, and social justice. His background shaped his approach to leadership, emphasizing discernment, humility, and a deep commitment to serving others. He was also the first pope from the Americas, hailing from Argentina. His election was a source of immense pride for Latin America, and it signaled a new era for the global Church. And remarkably, he was the first non-European pope in over 1,200 years. This was a powerful reminder that the Catholic Church is truly universal, embracing people from every continent and culture. His election was a testament to the Church's global reach and its commitment to diversity. In a world often divided by borders and differences, Pope Francis stood as a beacon of hope, unity, and compassion for all. From the moment he stepped onto the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica, Pope Francis captivated the world with his warmth, humility, and message of compassion. His gentle smile and approachable demeanor invited people of all backgrounds to listen and hope. He became a symbol of a new era for the Catholic Church, one rooted in mercy and a deep love for humanity. Pope Francis challenged the Church to open its doors wider than ever before, urging Catholics to embrace those on the margins and show mercy above all else. His actions spoke louder than words. He reached out to the poor and excluded, reminding the world that the true measure of a society is how it treats its most vulnerable. He became a global voice for the environment, calling for urgent action on climate change and inspiring millions to cherish and protect the earth. Despite his age, Pope Francis traveled the world, bringing his message of love, peace, and reconciliation to people of every nation and creed. Even as his health declined, his spirit remained unbroken. He continued to serve, teach, and inspire, showing that true leadership is measured by perseverance and faith. On April 21st, 2025, Pope Francis died peacefully at 88. The world mourned the loss of a true spiritual leader, gathering to pay tribute and share stories of his impact. His legacy lives on in the countless lives he touched and the communities he inspired. Pope Francis will forever be remembered as a beacon of hope, a champion of the poor, and a voice for the voiceless.